What are some upcoming projects you have?
I'm having a hard time at this point with all of this. I'm having a hard time writing because I'm having a hard time getting excited about any more intellectual discourse on this thing. I'm very much enjoying being, but it's almost like there's been this movement down to here. There are some things that I've already committed to do, and I'm committed to completing the things that I said I do. So there's quite a bit of stuff. I have a new DVD called Western Masters of Nonduality. It's such a presumptuous title, I may have to get rid of it. But I interviewed 17 teachers, Western teachers of Advaita and Nonduality, and I'm compiling that into a 2 DVD set right now. It may actually be a 4 DVD set. We did that at the Science of Nonduality conference, that wonderful thing that Maurizio Bonazzo has been working on for the last few years. That should be out fairly shortly. I'm working on, I just put a clip up today with a guy who woke up in prison, a guy by the name of Kenny Johnson. Really wonderful guy. You need to spend time with him to see him walk his walk. He's a terrific guy. Been around a long time, woke up in prison on Gangaji's outreach program. I just did an interview with him. I interviewed 3 quantum physicists about views of non-duality, why science now knows that non-duality is not science fiction, but is presumably science fact. Fred Alan Wolf, who was in the famous movie What the Bleep, and Amit Goswami, who is the head of the physics department at the University of Oregon. That interview wasn't about science. The interview was about how their learning in quantum science has affected them spiritually. Very nice project. I just completed a project with a guy named Paul Hederman called Addiction, Recovery, and Spiritual Awakening. There'll be more in that category. I expect to be doing more live events this year. I'm doing a live event with Rupert Spira in New York City in March. I'm helping Francis do his first live appearance in New York City in January, shortly. We're planning on doing a couple of national events in this area. We are publishing a number of books. I published Spiritual Discourses with Sri Atmananda Menon, which was put together by Nitya Tripta. I have interviews with Scott Killaby. We just finished with Jeff Foster, and his good friend Scott Killaby is now, and you know Scott quite well, actually. We're producing a DVD with him. John Burney, who was asked to speak by Ajahn Shante, did an interview with us recently. So there's a lot of stuff that's sort of backed up. I'm not really sure where it goes to from all there. I'm investigating the idea of live webcasting, incorporating that into Stillness Speaks, so there'll be a schedule of live satsangs every week on Stillness Speaks. You'll be able to come in and see various teachers. Those are some of the commitments that I've made. So I guess it sounds like I'm saying I'm not going to do anything and there's enough for 50 people to do.
Right.
I'm sort of looking for right now, actually, and I'll say this in this interview, I'm looking for someone to come in to sort of oversee what's going on in Stillness Speaks in the form of an editor. I'm opening up Stillness Speaks to what's called microsites, where various people who are experts in their fields. So I'm going to have a section on Gnostic Christianity. I'll have one on Buddhism. I'll have a couple on Advaita, non-duality, et cetera, and so forth. I'm going to bring in teachers, and they're going to have access directly into Stillness Speaks. They'll be able to post, and they'll be immediately put up their video, their audio, their blog posts, and from that we'll be able to pull stuff out and put it into the newsletter. I'm looking to stand back from my role as being sort of in the front of Stillness Speaks, and to turn it over now to people who know a lot more than I do, and to sort of nurture it along that way. So that's sort of what the game plan is.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's an amazing amount of getting after it.
The other idea was just to turn it off and go back to bed. Go hang out with my Siamese cats in Labrador, you know?
Oh, okay.